I disagree that people say Polish football's not good. I think it could be better. I just think it's got to have a little bit more of an open mind to absorb what's happening around the world and bring it here. He doesn't know everything. I don't know everything. He doesn't know everything. They don't know everything. You don't know everything. We don't know everything. But what we do is we bring in knowledge. And from my point of view, they're young coaches. I'm 65. I'm 25, nearly 30 years older than most of them. So I think I have the right to say to someone, look, I think you've improved. It's easy to be a loser. A loser doesn't chase the ball. So what? That's why you're a loser. A winner, it's hard work to be a winner. It's very hard work to be a winner. A winner chases lost causes, puts tackles in when he shouldn't. A loser doesn't bother. Our players are winners.
I have a great pleasure to host Kevin Blackwell here tonight. Welcome, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
What is it like after the derby game? Because you said you are looking forward to that game, even though the promotion was already in your pocket, but you gotta admit it was something extraordinary to see something like that.
Yes, I've been very lucky to be involved in some big derbies, Sheffield derbies in England, you know what I mean, and Manchester derbies. But it was special, I've got to say, and many people who were at the game said it was one of the most special nights they've ever had. I spoke to quite a few people who'd seen it on TV in England and where, and they said it looked as though it was mad. I said it was more than mad. It was, if you'd written the script about the game, someone would have said that can't happen, but it did. And you know, the derby game was a derby game. We'd won the championship or got promoted, but it was very important that the players fought for the right to become the best team in the Tri-City, and that really was their focus, even though they were magnificent the week before at Wiesla. And so yeah, very proud of what the players did.
Yeah, about the game, the scenario was, for me, it was even too cliche for some American movies, you know.
I mean, you know, you write a script where the team, you know, the team at the top go 1 up, should have gone 2 up, looked as though they were coasting, then the game changed on its head with a sending off, and then they get the goal, and then we have to hang in there, and then we get the goal, and then we have to hang in there, and it ended up at VAR. So the emotions were just up and down and up and down. And if you tell me that you as a fan sitting in that or standing in that stadium, whatever they were doing, that you could not get excited about that, then you've got no heart. Because I've been in the game a long time, and believe you me, there were a lot of emotions in that game.
That was actually one of the things I was asking myself when you came here, because you've seen English football for like 40 years.
Yes.
As a player, as a coach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was asking myself, is there anything in Polish football that can impress a guy like that? You know, you've seen actually everything in English football. And you gotta admit, Polish football is different, is not that good. Is there anything that impressed you here?
I've got to say, I thought the supporters were incredible. And I had some family here, and they all commented on how they sing all the game. That doesn't happen in England all the time. You get some good support, but here, and everybody seemed to know the song. Everybody knew, right round the ground, and that's what's really impressed me. That there was a lot of passion here for the game. I disagree that people say Polish football's not good. I think it could be better. I just think it's got to have a little bit more of an open mind to absorb what's happening around the world and bring it here, because we're more than capable here. I've seen players who are more than capable of raising the standards.
What is the biggest thing you changed here after the first few weeks? You've seen what's not working, what is working good.
Well, having worked with the staff there and Simon, it was basically me to give them advice on what I thought I saw, and it was raise the tempo, bit more structure, and the staff have then implemented that, and that was it really.
Were you the tactical brain of the staff of this team?
It's very difficult, because if you say you're one, it's all down to you, and it's never. It's a team game. The staff do it. I'd like to think my experience counted, and that I'd seen the pictures in the game a lot in my career, and I could recognise when things needed to be maybe changed or whatever, but it had to be implemented. And as a group, as a staff, I think we all did that quite well.
But you know that people, especially Gdańsk fans, see you as a game changer, because when you came here, Lechia was like in the middle of the league, ninth place.
Yeah.
Now you're on the top, and every time when you were losing halftime or during the game, on Twitter people were typing, "Hey Kevin, do something about that," because you were the one that they were believing in.
Yeah, I think
to make an impact.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's a little bit disrespectful to Simon and the staff, you know, to say that it's all down to one man, because it's never down to one man. Yeah, I certainly helped, and I've not done any interviews. It's not my job. Simon's the face of the football club, and I've been quite happy to do that and stand out the back. And I don't go on the photographs. I don't go on the pitch after the games. That's not my job. Mm-hmm. My job is to try and help the staff, hopefully use my experience, and together we get to the right conclusions. And I think we've done that very well as a group.
About standing in the back and being in the shadow, one thing that I looked deeper into during the interview you made on Interia, the written interview, you said about Szymonem Grabowskim making progress, listening and learning. And to be honest, to me it sounded a bit patronizingly to him. That was my feeling after reading that words. Was it your intention to say something like that?
No, it wasn't. But I as a young coach, learnt from a senior. I had my assistant was Sam Ellis, who'd been with Graham Taylor, the England manager, and whatever. And I brought him in, and I had to listen to him because he knew more than I did. So it wasn't being patronising at all. And if it's meant that way, then I wouldn't want to think that way. But equally, it was Simon realised that I could help him, and that's what I came. Listen, I purely came here to help the club. It was nothing more than that. And I know that when I haven't known something, I've gone to find out what, or gone to someone else, or brought support in, and that's what you should do. It's no good saying no man's an island. He doesn't know everything. I don't know everything. He doesn't know everything. They don't know everything. You don't know everything. We don't know everything. But what we do is we bring in knowledge. And from my point of view, they're young coaches. I'm 65. I'm 25, nearly 30 years older than most of them. So I think I have the right to say to someone, look, I think you've improved. And if they have improved, it's not being patronising. I'm telling you, you've improved.
Mm-hmm. But you can agree that in football, there's... it's common that there's an issue with someone being a leader, someone wanting to be a leader, players with their ego and stuff like that. You have to
harmonise it all.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
certainly do. And I think generally we've done that. I mean, as I said, if I think something's going wrong, I will come down and I will say something. But generally, Simon is the lead face. He's on the sideline. I don't tend to go down there that much.
Oh, don't you? Because on the sideline, you do a lot of work there.
When I come down, I'll do it. But I sit up in the stand. I observe from the stand, and if I don't think that message has been got across to Simon, I will come down and then pass that on. But if it doesn't work, why are we top of the table?
I mean, it does work, but it's still we can have some questions, especially after the derby game when you were both really intense working next to the sideline.
Yeah.
I was looking at both of you, and my thought was, this guy is a coach and this guy is a coach, and they are not working together. Don't you feel?
Well, like I say, I work with Simon a lot, so I don't need someone to come and talk to me about something. If he sees something, react to it. Okay. We've talked about this before. No manager on the sideline can see everything, and sometimes you're concentrating as the lead manager or head coach. He's actually following the ball and he's following the game, but it's what happens away from the ball that you can't take in, and that's what I've asked of the staff and myself to do, to analyse what's happening away from the ball, and if things need to be done quickly, you can't just wait. And sometimes the game moves so quickly now that by the time you've waited to get a message to the manager for him then to get it, that whole set scenario has changed. So sometimes you have to do that, and I've got massive experience. I think I've earned the right to be able to say, if I see something, I will say it. And I am a strong character, but I'm the technical director here, and I've come in, and my job's to do that. It's not to I can't worry about how people feel about anything. The job is about winning the game, and if something needs to be done, it will be done.
So the final question about that topic is, who's the boss? If you have different opinions, you and Simon, who gets the
We agree.
Always?
We agree. We can have a discussion, but we come to a conclusion. That's what we do.
Okay. Thinking about the whole season, I see two key moments. First of all, the winter break, which I want to ask you about later, but actually the first key moment was Luis Fernandez getting an injury, and you changing the whole system, the whole structure of your team. Could you tell us more about that?
For me, it was a case that when we had 2 sixes, we couldn't seem to get up the pitch enough. We didn't have enough threat on goal. So we changed it around and we've got a great athlete in Ivan, who can cover the ground, and he reminded me of Matic. He's a good athlete, he can get across. And so really the 6 can control that, if he can. And it allows you then to play 2 10s, but that gives you more options to get people in the box. And I think that's really what it was. I was asked to look at the game, and I just felt that the lone striker was away on his own, and the others were just too deep off them. And he could press and press and press, and Fernandez tried to, but they were just getting played around. And certainly the game I was shown.
To me, Ivan was like a man in the shadow, because a lot of people do not see him as the most important player, because you have Maxim, you have Camilo. But in my opinion, if you don't have number 6 like that, if he was weaker, you cannot play with one number 6.
No. I mean, Ivan for me has got he's only 22, going on 23, so he's got a big future in my opinion. The first time I saw, I didn't know any of these players. I'll be honest with you, but he's a young lad from Ukraine, and he has got tons of ability on the ball. He's a good athlete. He quietly leads the team. He's not vocal like Ricky is, and who shouts and screams and tells people what to do. Ivan doesn't do that. Ivan gets on with the ball, gets on with the job, and he's one of those that you, as you quite rightly say, you don't notice him, but you know when he's missing, you notice him.
Yeah, you missed him in the first derby game in Gdynia, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That was the key player. And the second key moment, winter break. You said something about that time that you don't get to do something like that in Premier League, because you play and play and play.
That's right.
Here you can work and work and work, and
Yeah.
you worked really hard, right?
The players did.
Yeah, I mean you as a
players
team.
did. Yeah.
Weren't you afraid that you may push it a bit too much?
It doesn't matter whether you're here in England or Spain or wherever. When you do a pre-season, it has to be tough, and you always fear that a player will pull a hamstring or a groin or a thigh or whatever. That fear's there. But I look at the players, and I thought, and the staff were a little bit frightened of the tempo I asked them to train at. But the staff soon picked that up, and they followed through with it, to be fair. So we had the good set of staff who were then pushing the players, and the players, listen, at one time I remember them saying that, when am I going to feel fresh? 18th of February you'll feel fresh. That was the game. But we don't have that opportunity. I've never had that opportunity in my career, to have a winter break. 6 weeks work. The players only have 2 weeks off, so they don't lose a lot of fitness. So you can actually quickly go into your fitness work and then get on with your technical work, and that's what we're able to do.
Were you so excited, so happy to do something like that?
Oh, listen, it's the first time I've had it, and it was really, really good. And I look at that, and if you've got your summer break, your 6 weeks there, and you've got your winter break with 6 weeks, you really can do some good work with the individuals. And I think there's no doubt that we looked a different team from, even though we were doing quite well first, because actually if we'd have won the last game at Motor Lublin, we would have been top. We were second, I think, going into Christmas, behind Arca. So we could have been top, but we improved no end from that there, and Simon, Rav and Pav, all together on the training ground, we pushed them. And I think if I brought anything, the idea that I brought in was the hard work and how you can work hard, and then the coaches bought into that, and then they saw that, and some of the sessions that they put on, I thought, wow, I thought that was hard from them. So that's what I was pleased with.
Do you watch American movies?
American movies?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Because in every American crime movie, there's a good cop and a bad cop.
Yeah.
Are you the bad cop?
Possibly.
Why?
because I will demand things that maybe someone else who hasn't got a strong character might just let it go. You know, you can't, as a coach, ever pick out the weakest player. You have to pick out the strongest player and have the courage to go up maybe your star player and say, no, I want more. That's not good enough. And too often I see coaches who would pick on the weak one but not on the strong one. So I might have a bigger mouth and a bit more, you know, vocal. So if you want to be the bad cop, then I'm the bad cop.
Okay. Greg Halford said about you, about working with you at Sheffield United, I guess, he was intense. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you push it as much as you can every time?
Yeah.
Because, for example, seeing, I don't know, Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola, I think that's something that connects them. Obviously, I haven't worked with them. I only see it on movies,
Yeah.
Netflix, stuff like that. But they push it and push it and
do.
push it, even if they lose.
I'm a great believer that if you train at pace, you can play at pace.
You play as a work. You play as a
Absolutely.
train.
And if in a game you come up against a team that works hard and has good tempo and good pace, if you can't match that, you'll lose the game. We can all play slow. If you train quick, you can play slow. But if you train slow, you cannot play quick. So we just wanted to up the tempo more. And yeah, I can be. So you talk about, am I the good cop or the bad cop? I am intense. When I come on a training ground, I just see the training. I don't see anything else. And I want things the way I'd like to see things. But obviously, the difference this time was with working with Simon. I've not worked like that before. I've been the main instigator of it all. You know what I mean? So I don't tend to take all the sessions. But when I step in and see something, if I don't like it, I'm strong enough to do that.
So what is the biggest issue of other teams, not your team? Other clubs, you've seen actually every team in the league playing against you. The weakest spots, you obviously analyzed it. What mistakes do they make that they cannot be at the level that you were? Do they just simply not work enough? Or is it tactical stuff?
I think it's a bit of both. The fear here seems to be the unknown. How hard can you work someone?
But you know, it used to work like that in Poland. Maybe in some places it still does. That if you work too much, players do not like it. They want you fired. So
Yeah. Apparently, I hear that. I do hear that. But you try and tell the players who enjoyed the other night against Arca after the game, who enjoyed after Wisla, who enjoyed after Lechia. And I've said to the boys, it's easy to be a loser. A loser doesn't chase the ball. So what? That's why you're a loser. A winner, it's hard work to be a winner. It's very hard work to be a winner. A winner chases lost causes, puts tackles in when he shouldn't. A loser doesn't bother. Our players are winners. So the difference for me was that they were able to do what they wanted to do for longer. That's the fitness element of it. The tactical element, which Pav, Rav, and Simon are very good at, we put that in there. So we've now got the fitness to go with the technical and tactical. And I think that's what we've done. But Paulo made a big thing of recruitment, and he signed good players. And there's a great saying, and Arsene Wenger would say, if you want to know how good a coach you are, show me your players. If you've got good players, you're a good coach.
But if you want to see how good a club you are, show me your finances. And that was and still is an issue here in Gdańsk.
Yeah, once again, I don't speak about finance because I haven't got a clue.
All right.
I'm a football man, so I haven't got a clue about the finances. And, one would hope that the club can run well on and off the pitch. But this club, from my understanding, has been not run very well off the pitch for a considerable amount of time. So, other than that, I don't know anything else.
Okay, you're 65.
Yeah.
You came here over 6 months ago, and you haven't gone back to London, not even once.
No.
So, my question is, how is it possible that being 65, having family, having money, you said about that, you could have an easy, good life in your living room.
Yeah.
How is it possible to have that passion, to have the fire inside you that makes you work and work and work, no break for over 6 months? What drives you?
I just want to win. There's nothing better than winning, than putting your expertise or your knowledge up against someone else and saying, "Come on, then, let's see who's the best." And that's what I want to work hard. And I know you get nothing out of this world if you don't work hard. It doesn't matter. It's not football. In any business or anybody's career. Gary Player used to say in the golf, it's funny, the harder I work, the luckier I got. And he won every tournament, as you know, in golf. And that's what I've said to the players. If you work hard, that's an investment in you. That's money in the bank. And when you need to go to the bank to draw it out, like the fitness, for example, in the 89th minute, we played Tiki the other week, and Mena, unfortunately we lost Bobchek and Javra up front, and we had to mix around, and Cesar run himself into the ground, and we finished up putting Mena up the middle. And in the 93rd minute, and we're 3-0 up, by the way, Mena chased the centre-half, who passed the ball to the left-back. Mena chased the left-back, who passed the ball inside to the number 8. And Mena chased the number 8, who passed it to the full-back on the left-hand side. And Mena chased him. Now, he'd already played 93 minutes. Now, that, for me, meant that when he went to the bank and he wanted to have that extra effort and power, he'd got it. Where did he get it from? All the work that he'd done this year. How he'd improved physically. And it showed there. And then the winning mentality, even though we were 3-0 up, in the 93rd minute, the team was saying, no, we are not going to lose. So the mental side of it came very strong. That comes when you're fit, and anybody knows when you're fit, you feel so much more confidence in yourself. Your mental health improves on fitness, and it does. And I just look at the players, and I think they've physically now able to write checks that their body can cash. As opposed to many players write checks and there's nothing left in the bank. They've got nothing. They can't run. They can't move in the last, 30, 40 minutes of a game. This group of players have worked that hard. And the sports science guys, Dominic and Damien, they've worked hard on getting the players at that level. And then Pav and Rav and Simon, we've done football element work that's worked on conditioning as well as technical and tactical. So it's all come together.
It sounds to me that it all inspires you to keep working,
yes, I love it,
to keep winning. But do you still want to win here?
It doesn't matter where I go, I want to win. But here
it matters to Gdańsk fans.
Listen, I haven't come here to lose, have I? I'm here to win, and I'd like to think that this group of players can improve, and that the staff can improve to make the players improve. And if we keep improving, we can keep winning, and that's what we want to do. So, and yeah, from what I've seen here, this is a great setup.
So will you still be here next season?
I'm speaking to Paolo. Look, I've really enjoyed my time here. I see that, and Paolo's got this project, developing players, young players, athletic, playing at high tempo. He knows what he wants, and we've got to try and produce that. And as long as I see that, I'm very favourable to stay.
Because when you said, I will always remember those guys this year, you said something like that, I was like, okay, if he says he will remember this year, there won't be another year.
I don't think that you can experience what we saw on Sunday night and say you can't forget these guys. I'll never forget these guys. That Sunday night, even though I've had Championship player finals, I've had FA Cup semi-finals and finals, what I witnessed on the other night was up there. And I've seen people, these professional bloggers who go round and watch football, and they've been to 200 grounds around the world, and they're saying that is the best I've seen. And I honestly thought, when I came here, Paolo showed me the stadium, and I thought, wow, I'd love to see this. This would be some place. Didn't know it was like that when I came. Wouldn't this be great if it was full? Didn't think that 6 months later it would be full. And then I thought, wow, this city has got some potential. But potential is nothing unless you fulfill it.
Yes, and if you think about all those things, you obviously want to stay here. But there is always something else: your family, your other
Yeah.
life here.
Yeah.
So, which is bigger?
Well, I've got to try and Julie, who is my wife. I've got, you know, if it wasn't for Julie and her support, I couldn't do what I do. It's been difficult for me to go back this year because I felt I needed to be here to sort things out, and it was just heads up on doing what I was doing, and therefore I didn't get a chance really to go back, and that's why I'm looking forward to a summer break anyway, whatever happens. But I hope that moving forward I can have an opportunity to take a little bit of a step back, and if I stay here, that's really what I want to do. But I'll always be on Simon's shoulder and the staff's shoulder, reminding them, we keep moving forward. We keep moving forward.
Kevin Blackwell was my special guest tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.